Welcome to an episode of Kids of Cthulhu. Tonight we're going to play the Cracked and Crooked Manse from the Mansions of Madness booklet. Our two investigators tonight are going to introduce themselves. First we have Stir Fry.
I'm Jerry Black. He's 26, police detective, and he's a male.
And we have Miss Pick.
I play Phoebe Monroe. She's a foreign correspondent. She's 22 and she's from Sydney, Australia.
Excellent. You guys have been brought together. Actually, it was Jerry that was first made aware of this. He received some items in the mail. This is what he received. There is a letter from some attorneys as well as a newspaper clipping. I'll go ahead and read what's on the letter. It's from the Dodge brothers, attorney at law, in a place called Gamwell, Connecticut. It's dated just a few days ago, January 30th, 1925. Dear Sir, I have been referred to you by a mutual friend. As his attorney, I am very interested in locating the missing Mr. Arthur Cornthwaite, and our associate mentioned your name as being one skilled in locating missing people, particularly those of Mr. Cornthwaite's persuasion. Thus I have taken the liberty of contacting you. I am a partner of the established legal firm in Gamwell. Mr. Arthur Cornthwaite is one of our clients, and as his attorneys we hold certain documents in trust for him. It would appear that Mr. Cornthwaite has departed without notifying us of his movements. This leaves us in a quandary as to how to manage his estate in his absence, without his authority in such matters. We would like you to locate Mr. Cornthwaite and obtain from him his wishes in respect of this matter, or better still, request that he contact us. If it should, heaven forbid, transpire that Mr. Cornthwaite is no longer with us, then we will need some evidence of same to proceed with his wishes as outlined in his last will and testament. Hopefully this is an unnecessary contingency, but one which we must nevertheless consider in the light of Mr. Cornthwaite's mysterious departure. I hope that you are free to give this matter your immediate attention, and would like to extend an invitation to you to attend an interview at our offices as soon as is convenient, to discuss both the details of this situation and your professional fees. Anticipating a prompt reply, yours faithfully, Walter Dodge. Enclosed article from the Gamwell Gazette. Now, Phoebe would be aware of this case from this article from the Gamwell Gazette. This article reads, Gamwell millionaire absent. Gamwell's most prosperous son, Arthur Cornthwaite, will not be seen at church over the next few weeks. Mr. Cornthwaite has apparently left the area for a time, possibly for a vacation or in relation to his studies. Some mystery surrounds Mr. Cornthwaite's departure, as it came without notice. However, an inspection of his mansion and grounds by Sheriff Whitford has revealed no cause for alarm. The last person to speak to Mr. Cornthwaite was his attorney, Mr. Walter Dodge, on the 7th of this month. At that time he gave no indication of his imminent departure, but, according to Mr. Dodge, he did seem quite preoccupied, no doubt, with his travel plans. We all know well that besides being a Gamwell landowner, Mr. Cornthwaite is also a millionaire, a scholar, a philanthropist, and an explorer. He may well be off laying the groundwork for some future exciting expedition, or perhaps just relaxing for a time in New York. Gamwell citizens will no doubt remember fondly Mr. Cornthwaite's numerous generous donations to local charities, and to the town library, and join with us in wishing him a safe and happy journey. This is from the Gamwell Gazette, dated January 17th, 1925. So, Jerry, you received this letter and article from the Dodge brothers, the attorneys, and Phoebe happened to be told by an editor that there was something mysterious going on in Gamwell, and since you happened to be in the area, they sent you to investigate as well. And you guys probably met up just outside Gamwell in a town, maybe in a restaurant or something, and you probably saw him poring over the article, and you thought, I've seen that same article, and you sat down and introduced yourself, and you both decided to go off together to see if you can't join forces to find out what happened to Mr. Cornthwaite. The attorneys seem to want to either find him so that he can let them know what's going on, or if he's passed on, to let them know so that they can execute his last will and testament, because he does have a lot of money, and in fact he purchased a home in Gamwell as well. So what would you guys like to do?
So we're investigating where again?
Gamwell, Connecticut.
So, and where exactly in Gamwell, Connecticut? Like a building somewhere? Or?
Well, you're not sure. You just know that he hasn't been seen in town
Okay.
for quite a long time.
Well, then I'll go to Gamwell, Connecticut.
Okay, and what do you want to do? Who do you want to speak to?
Are there any like close people there to him, like close relatives or anything?
Well, who would you talk to in town to find out?
Or like, does he have any servants or like maids or butlers at his house?
Well, it's possible. Do you want to go to his house first?
Yeah, I kind of.
So you're not exactly sure where the house is. You know it's in Gamwell. You arrive in Gamwell. It's towards the the end of March or so, 1925, and Gamwell seems to be a pretty small town. As you go down the main street, you can see that there's a small library. There's a diner. There's also like a small boarding house, like a sort of hotel where people could stay if they were staying in town. You drive past and see like the newspaper, which draws Phoebe's attention because there's a newspaper office, as well as you see a sign out front of another office that says Dodge Brothers Attorney at Law.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna look at the attorney's place.
Do you want to go there first?
Yeah.
The attorneys? What do you think, Phoebe? Does that sound good?
Sure.
The attorneys. There's a picture of Mr. Walter Dodge. You guys can.
So that's his attorney?
Yeah. That's Walter Dodge. Reginald, Walter, and Herbert Dodge. Their names are on the sign. When you walk in, there's three little men in kind of washed out gray suits, and they seem to be very timid and nervous. As you open the door, they sort of look a little bit frightened because they weren't expecting anyone to come in. It's a very small town, and they obviously don't recognize you. Walter speaks up and says, yes, can I help you?
I'm gonna say, are you Mr. What was the millionaire's name again? Arthur Cornwell or something?
Cornthwaite? Am I Mr. Cornthwaite?
No, I asked, do you know Mr. Cornthwaite?
Oh, well, yes, we are responsible for his trust, all of his financial obligations, and so on. May I ask who you are?
I'm an investigator here. You sent word for me to come look for him.
Are you Jerry Black?
Yeah.
Oh, Jerry, it's a pleasure to meet you. Look, if I'm being honest, I'm glad you're here. We haven't actually put a lot of work into this. We were kind of hoping that you could do it. We did go out to his house, and we kind of hollered for him, and there was no answer, and no one's seen him around, so we sent the letter off to you and hope that maybe you could help us out.
Also, a question. So he's recently purchased this house, or has he been living in it for a while?
Well, he purchased it. The house has been here in Gamwell for well over 60 years. He purchased it about 4 years ago. He's kind of eccentric. He's been on several trips and expeditions. Recently, he was on a trip to South America. In fact, doing some sort of exploring, as it is. In fact, let me see what I have here. Make a credit rating roll. So you're going to take out the dice. You want the percentile dice. And what's your credit rating? Is it 30?
30, yeah.
So you're going to roll the dice, and hopefully you'll roll below 30.
There's one of them. There's the other. Okay.
And just leave them
Wait,
out.
wrong one. Wait.
Do you need help?
Yeah, these are the percentile ones, right?
Let me see.
Sorry, I get confused because there's like 3 triangles. So.
Well, these are the percentile.
Okay, yeah, I got it right.
Just set the other dice on the bag, and we'll mostly be using the percentile dice.
Okay, so I rolled 68.
So that's actually not a success. So you don't know a whole lot about what papers that they might have, but you thought maybe they had something about the expedition. Then you think, why would they handle that? They just more handle like his will and things like that.
Okay.
But they do mention that they can't tell you what's in the will. He says, I can't reveal that. That's private between ourselves and Mr. Cornthwaite. But I'll tell you what, you're free to look at his ledgers. He does have some ledgers here, which is kind of what maybe your character was hoping to see, and they present you some books.
Okay.
Now, you're going to have to pore over these ledgers. If you are at all skilled in like accounting or any sort of research or like anything that might help you in that credit rating might also help. Phoebe, you're there as well. What would you do?
Yeah. So, do you want to read the books? Are you good at reading?
Yes, I'll read the books.
Okay, why don't you make a credit rating roll?
Here you go. What's your credit? 50, I think?
40.
40.
40.
$26.
Oh, so that's a success. So if you look at your credit rating, you should have a 40, and then in smaller boxes there'll be a 20 and then an 8. Is that correct?
Where's my credit rating?
It's on the left-hand side of your skills. It's in the middle of the page.
See?
Oh, nope.
Towards the left.
Okay.
That's the right side. Go to the left side.
Oh.
That's right. Go left.
I was at left.
There you go.
Keep going. Keep going. It's alphabetical. You see a 40?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the small box, is there a 20 and an 8?
Yeah.
So that signifies a success is below 40, a hard success is below 20, and an extreme success would be below 8. And you rolled a 26?
Okay.
So as you look at the books, you can tell that Mr. Cornthwaite is indeed a wealthy man, and he's likely to remain so. He's got a lot of good investments based on what you can see. You also see that he did indeed have an expedition to South America just a year or two ago. And you notice that there's records of the hiring of men and the transport of equipment and all that. You also notice that this ledger for his home does not include any payroll for staff or anything. And you think maybe that's kind of strange.
I have a couple more questions for his attorney.
Yes, yeah. What would you like to know?
So he has multiple homes, I'm guessing, because...
Well, just the one in Gamwell that we know of, as far as, that's his primary residence.
Okay. My question just slipped my mind. Let me think.
Take your time, young man.
So in his house, so he hasn't hired anybody in his house.
Well, he probably has servants, but it looks like he's not kept track of them in these ledgers. He likes to manage the staff of the estate himself, and he probably just had a payroll for himself. I expect he hired people from out of town. No one here from Gamwell has worked for him.
Okay.
Phoebe, make a spot hidden roll. So on your character sheet, on the skills, kind of on the right side, should be a spot hidden.
Yeah, I see it.
What's your number?
65.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the percentile dice and try to roll below 65.
Wait, oh yeah, sorry, 73.
73. Okay, so you do have a pool of luck points, and if you want, you can actually spend luck points to reduce that 73 down to 65. It would cost you 8 luck points if you want to, or you can decide to save those for later.
Well, I do have a lot of luck.
Okay, so do you want to... How much luck do you have?
65.
So if you take away 8, that's going to leave you with 57, and then that will be a successful spot hidden roll. You notice something curious. That the very last entry, dated January 7th, Cornthwaite requested that a dump truck full of salt be delivered to his property. And you think, that's weird. Why would he order a dump truck full of salt? Do you say anything or mention it to the attorneys?
I got it. he was having a French fry party. And he did salt in his French fries.
It's possible.
I will mention it to them.
What do you say?
I'll say, it says right here that he ordered a truck full of salt.
Oh, yes, that. We didn't fill that. We were still lining it up when Cornthwaite disappeared. I have no idea what he needed that for, but like I said, he's a little bit eccentric, a little bit strange, and, he had the money. If the gentleman wants a dump truck full of salt, the gentleman shall have a dump truck full of salt, we say, but we have not passed through the order yet, so...
I'm gonna ask him, is there any possible way I could get on his property to investigate?
Oh, yes. In fact, he writes down the address on a piece of paper and hands it to you and says, in fact, you're welcome to stay there if you like tonight. Just please do be careful with the place. Should it turn out that Mr. Cornthwaite has passed on, we will be selling his home as is our responsibility, and just please don't damage the place. You don't look like the type that would vandalize it or something, but we don't know you, and so please, if you do stay, you're more than welcome to. Just be careful and don't destroy the place.
Okay. So, is this property, is it located kind of on away from the main part of town, or is it in town?
It's about 10 miles away. He did like his privacy. He's over on the hill where there's the more wealthier residents of Gamwell live. There's quite a few large mansions over there, and he has one of them.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go up there.
Oh, well, okay. Is there anything else we can do for you?
No, that's probably good for now.
Miss, anything we can do for you?
I'm okay. I'm fine.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for coming to Gamwell, and do let us know if you have any problems or need any additional information.
Okay.
And you leave the attorney's office, and you're still downtown. Is there any place else you wanted to go?
I want to drive this big thing of salt up there.
Well, you don't have the salt. They were going to order it, but they've not ordered it yet.
Oh, so they don't even have the salt yet. Okay. Well, is there a rental car? Actually, this is in the 20s. I probably wouldn't have a rental car.
You probably took the bus to get here. You might be able to hire a taxi or something to get you there. Is there any other place in town that you want to visit?
Does he have any family members in town? Maybe.
Did you ask the Dodge brothers?
No.
Do you want to who do you want to ask?
I don't know.
So there's a newspaper office, there's a library, there's a boarding home.
I'll ask
There's the sheriff's office.
I'll ask the sheriff's office.
Go over and meet with the sheriff?
Yeah.
All right. So this is a picture of the sheriff. This is Sheriff Whitford. You can have that there. You go and knock on the door, and kind of an older man, gray-haired, sitting at his desk when you walk in. He says, well, what do you strangers want here in town?
I'm a private investigator here to investigate Mr. Cornwolf.
Cornwolf? We don't even have no Cornwolf in our town.
How do you say his name?
Are you talking about Arthur Cornthwaite?
Yes, Cornwolf.
Here's a picture of Arthur.
Cornwolf.
Where did you say you were from?
I'm from Massachusetts.
Oh, big city police. Well, we've got a situation all under hand here. I'm the law in this town. We don't need no big city police in here. Why don't you make either a credit rating or a fast talk or persuade, see if you can get him to be a little nicer to you.
I don't have very good fast talk, so I'll
Do you have
try.
charm or persuade or?
I'm pretty sure I had. Well, let me see.
I have both of those.
Where would that be? That'd be.
Well, it's alphabetical, so you could look fast talk, persuade, charm.
I have both.
I don't have good fast talk.
So do you want to say anything, Phoebe?
Well, what would you say? Because I have no idea.
I'll just try a credit.
A credit rating?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make a roll.
Okay. I got 96. That's the bad roll.
So
It's a really bad roll.
yeah, so 96 is that's actually like a fumble. So
I just trip on my way in.
so you walk in, you try and act like you're all swanky from the big city, and he can see right through it. And he's like, "Oh, you big city cops think you know everything." Do you speak up, Phoebe? What would you say?
I can continue, or do you want to do
Well,
it?
if you want to, you've already kind of dug yourself a hole.
Yeah. You could say sorry for my companion's rudeness.
If you were Phoebe and you're a foreign correspondent here to write a story about Arthur Cornthwaite. What might you ask the sheriff?
I would say, hello, Mr. Whitford.
He says, "Ma'am, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance."
I am actually a reporter, and they said Cornthwaite had any relatives live close by.
He says, if you're a reporter, you should really go over to the newspaper office. But then you kind of smile at him and make a charm roll.
Do you have? What's
Yeah, I have charm, and it's 42.
42. $83.
83. Oh, and I forgot to mention your last roll. Of course, you use luck, so never mind. But if you succeed on a roll without using luck, there's a box next to the skill. You'll check the box. And then at the end of the adventure, we'll roll to see if you can increase that skill because you've had a success in it. So you rolled pretty high. So he says, I'll tell you what, he doesn't have any family here. He's here all by himself, doesn't have any family. You'd best probably head over to the Gamwell Gazette, to the newspaper office. I've got things underhand here, and I don't need you stepping all over a potential crime scene. There's no indication that this fellow was kidnapped or any foul play, but I've had a quick look around the house, and the fellow's obviously not there.
Well, thank you, Mr. Whitford.
You're welcome, ma'am. He kind of growls at Jerry.
And I'm just gonna leave.
He says, "Close the door on the way out."
Okay. I'm gonna just get a taxi.
Okay. Well, is there anywhere else that you wanted to go, Phoebe?
How about the newspaper?
The Gamwell Gazette?
Yeah.
To see Mr. Stan Artemis.
He's a smiley guy.
Chubby little
The sign outside says Gamwell Gazette, established 1887. It's small and cluttered. Stan Artemis, he's overdressed. He's in his late 40s. He's got a bright red and green checkered suit and a giant hat. And he is super friendly. He says, "Well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes, ma'am? You're so beautiful. Thank you for coming in. Would you like to get a subscription?"
What's the subscription?
To the newspaper? Would you like to purchase a subscription? We'll deliver it to you.
No thank you, sir. But I would like to know something because I am a reporter.
Oh, wow. It's a pity that Joe Varelli's not here. He does our reporting and photography. I'm sure he'd be happy to meet you. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted. What were you going to say, miss?
No, it's fine. But we were wondering if Mr. Cornthwaite has any relatives live close by.
He does not. Unfortunately, he certainly does not. But you're welcome to, if you're doing any research, you're welcome to look through back issues of our paper. They've got them in the back. They're in some ratty cardboard boxes. But there'll be a lot of references to the Cornthwaites, to Arthur Cornthwaite in there, clear back from his arrival in 1919. Would you like to check those out?
Yes, please, sir.
Okay, why don't you make a library use roll? So what's your library?
Let me find it. 47.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
I don't have any.
13.
So, after the 47, what are your other numbers? What are the little numbers?
23 and 9.
So, you didn't get under 9, but you did get what's called a hard success. So that's like better than a regular success. So take the pencil and check the little box next to library use. You go through several back issues, and there's stories about him attending parties, donating to the church, winning at bridge nights, giving books to the local library, and so on. And you happen to find a clipping from 1895. This is the clipping that you find. I'll go ahead and read that. It says, "Gamwell family slain in terrible attack. Mother and 3 children killed. Police seek missing father." This is dated 1895, about 30 years ago. It says, a tragedy of awful proportions unfolded today in Gamwell when Mrs. Gloria Kerwin and her 3 children, Harold, age 5, Sarah, age 3, and Susan, age 2, were found brutally murdered on their estate north of Gamwell, the well-known Fitzgerald Manse. Deputy Whitford of the Gamwell County Sheriff's Office made the grisly discovery while making a routine inspection. I've never seen anything like it, the brave but shaken deputy told his reporter. They were all dead. The family had indeed been brutally and cowardly slain, struck down by repeated blows from an axe. Not even little Susan was spared from this hideous fate. No murder weapon has been discovered, and Mr. Arthur Kerwin, the children's father, is presently missing. He is wanted by the police for questioning, although fears are held for his own safety. So, 30 years ago, this was before Mr. Cornthwaite purchased it, but it looks like there was a grisly murder. Someone took an axe to the family, and they've never found the father of the family. So that's kind of creepy. And then this Fitzgerald mansion is the same home where Mr. Cornthwaite lives.
Well,
all right, so anything else you want to do or explore while you're here?
I was currently trying to wave a taxi.
Trying to get a taxi?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a luck roll. So what's your luck?
50.
So go ahead and roll.
48.
Yeah, so you're able to hail a taxi, and an old Model T comes rolling up, and the guy says, "Welcome to Gamwell, sir. How can I help you?" Well, my voices sound the same.
I'm gonna say, can I get a ride up to the Cornthwaite estate?
The Fitzgerald Mansion?
Yeah.
Oh, certainly, sir. It's only $1.50. Now you have a $10 a day spending limit, so you don't even have to take off any money. It's just assumed you just have that much per day spending.
I'll give him a little tip.
10 cents extra?
Yeah. Oh. Make sure he takes me up there.
All right. So he drives you around town, and it takes a little while to get up there. It's situated about 10 miles out of Gamwell in a peaceful but isolated district. You notice at first a huge tangled garden, which is surrounded by a high stone spiked wall. As you drive towards the house, black and gray clouds scud across the sky, and a chill wind picks up. It's time to turn on some music.
Sound effects.
Alexa, connect to Bluetooth.
Searching. Now connected to Brandon Neff, Galaxy Note 4.
There we go. Oh, that's just perfect to break the tension. Okay. So you said we're going through like a garden?
Well, the taxi cab pulls up in front of a large iron gate, which gives access to the driveway. And the cab driver says, "Well, it looks like the gate's locked. This is as far as I can take you."
I'm gonna ask him if he could wait here for a little bit.
For how long? I don't want to be here all day, mister.
Well, actually, could you just come back in maybe like a day? See, if we're not out here, then you can just leave. Maybe wait for an hour.
I'll wait for well, how about...
I'll pay you $2.
All right, I'll wait for an hour. And then if you don't come back, I'll come back this time tomorrow.
Okay.
Deal?
Yeah.
I'll wait for an hour tomorrow, too. All right, and then he speeds off, and as he does, you can't help but think that this might be the last human you see for another day or so, because there's presumably nobody here.
Well, I mean, I'll see Phoebe.
So.
Well, I don't know. We might see like a Mr. Cornthwaite.
Cornthwaite? Well,
yeah.
You've got a locked iron gate in front of you. There's a padlock up.
What would that skill be?
Well,
climbing fences.
You could try and climb, or if you have like a lockpick. Or like a mechanical repair.
I think I'm gonna try and climb. If that works.
Okay. You don't want to try and pick the lock? You want to let the lady climb too?
I'll try to pick it. Would a gun work?
You want to try and shoot it off?
I don't know. I guess that might work. I don't know.
What would you do?
Wait, do we have a lockpicking skill?
Yeah, you should. Do you have one on there?
Let me check. Let's see, listen. Oh, locksmith. That would be it. I don't have anything in it.
How about sleight of hand? Nope,
No.
nothing.
I only have locksmith would be it probably, and I don't have any. Can I try and shoot it open?
Yeah, if you want to shoot it open, you can.
Okay, I have a where's gun? Give me a second.
It should be under fighting.
Yeah, I've almost found it.
It's in the middle column.
Yep, there's 2 middle columns.
No. Well, it's alphabetical.
It's 70.
Fighting and then firearms.
Yeah, it's 70.
Okay, so you want to make a roll, see if you can hit it?
Yeah. I got a 42.
Okay. So you hear this loud bang goes off, and sparks fly, and the lock just falls apart. Go ahead and check the box next to your firearm skill.
Where's the pencil? Okay.
And the loud crack of the pistol echoes all through this area. It's all just a tall wall and overgrown garden. The gate slowly opens, squeaking on its hinges.
Are there any monsters in the area?
Well, do you want to look?
Yeah, I want to investigate it first.
Make a spot hidden roll. In fact, you can as well, Phoebe.
A spot hidden. I have a 65.
Okay.
So, give this a try. 32.
Excellent. In fact, that should be like a hard success, right?
Let me check.
Is that your half score?
Oh, it's exactly 32 and 13. So.
What did you get, Phoebe?
So can I check that box?
Yeah.
Okay.
36.
So that should be a success for you. So check your box as well. You both notice that the house is ahead. It's probably a short walk to the house. It's up kind of through the garden over a hill. You also notice Jerry notices the roof of a shed through the trees to the right of the driveway.
Ooh, interesting. So there's a shed, and then the tall walls and bushes. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to go investigate the shed.
The shed?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, come on, Phoebe, let's go.
So you got to walk through the garden to get to the shed.
Okay.
So this extensive garden with stone benches, planters, and even a fountain spreads out before you. There's several exotic varieties of trees such as willows. This garden has been untended for months. It's become a wild expanse of runaway foliage, overgrown and threatening. It's a dark place, dank, green, and dripping. Anything could be concealed here. In fact, as you're wandering through the garden, Phoebe, make a dexterity roll. So your dexterity is going to be at the top of your character sheet.
What if we run into a zombie squirrel?
75.
So go ahead and make a roll.
That'd be funny if we ran into a zombie squirrel.
24.
24. So you succeed. So actually, as you're walking, all of a sudden a tree root seems to be right on the path, and you actually stumble over it, and you swear that just a second ago that root wasn't there.
A living
Like
tree.
all of a sudden there's a root in the way.
Trees are living.
And you walk a little bit further, and Jerry, make a dexterity roll.
Okay. Let's see, where's that? Oh, where's my dexterity? Give me a second.
It's at the top.
Oh, it's at the very top. Oh, it's 75. And I rolled a 76. Oh! Oh no!
That's okay. So as you're walking, you kind of duck to avoid some branches.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Uh-oh. Having some issues here with the
Sound effects.
sound effects. There we go.
There we go.
You duck to avoid some branches, but it's almost like the wind suddenly blows and the branches dip down lower and sort of scrape over the back of your head, almost like fingernails running
Oh,
down the back
that's
of your
creepy.
hair, and the back of your neck.
That's so
I'm gonna
creepy.
throw up.
It's probably like a big scary old mummy thing trying to like scratch me to death.
Phoebe, make an idea roll at the top of your character sheet under, I think it's by intelligence. It should say INT
Oh, it's 61.
and then idea.
Yeah, 61.
Go ahead and roll that.
72.
No.
Interesting. So you, so the idea roll is just in case I think maybe you've missed something, that maybe you notice something that you wouldn't have normally noticed. So it's not anything important, it just might be something that you missed.
It's like, this is life or death.
You come across the windowless garden shed. It's a small wooden building, peeling green paint in patches. And the door is slightly ajar.
Oh no. So it has no windows?
No.
And, like, how many windows are there on it? Like,
There's no windows on it.
Oh, it's windowless. I thought you meant
Windowless.
there's, like, no glass.
No,
Okay.
there's no windows. And the door is slightly ajar, it's open.
What's it made out of? Is it, like, cement or wood? Wood?
Yep.
Okay. Is the door locked at all?
Well, it's open.
Oh, it's open.
It's open a few inches, a crack.
Well, is there, like, a handle?
There is. And
Okay.
it pushes inside.
Okay, I'm gonna say, I don't know. I'm scared. Can I get, like, my gun out ready to shoot?
Sure.
And then I'm gonna say, I'm gonna, like, kick the door and then back up. See if something charges out at me.
You kick the door. Within the darkness, there is leaf litter all over the floor.
Ow, it's a leaf.
There's many tools, rakes, wheelbarrows, shovels, some hedge clippers, a pick and a saw, and so on. Many have fallen to the floor. All are disused, a little dirty, and some are even rusty. Make a spot hidden roll.
Okay, where is that? I have a... Found it a second ago. 65. 74. I know.
Interesting. While you're in here looking, you hear the wind blowing outside. It's kind of howling. It almost sounds like a voice calling out to you, but you can't quite make out what it's saying.
So Phoebe, did she follow me into the
Do you
shed?
step into the shed, Phoebe?
Is he in the shed?
Actually, no, I didn't go in because I just backed up when I kicked
Oh,
it. So.
okay. So, but you can peer into the shed. There's some dark corners. If you want to thoroughly examine it, you'll have to go inside.
Did they have flashlights in the 20s?
Yes, but I don't think either of you have them on your character sheet.
I should have purchased one at the town.
Uh-huh.
I need a flashlight. Do I have, like, I don't think I have a candle or a torch or anything. Oh no. Okay, I guess I'll just like ask, is there anybody in there?
Okay.
Anything in there?
And there's no answer, just your voice echoing in the darkness.
Aw. I kind of feel like I should just shoot the corners, like each corner, to see if like anyone says "ow."
Well, I don't know if you would do that.
Like if there's like a scared servant in there hiding, I just shoot him with
Well,
the
they
foot.
probably would have answered if you hollered out to them.
Oh, there's probably like a scary like mummy or something waiting in a corner. And I'm like gonna walk in there and he's gonna grab me and eat me.
Well,
Can you try not to make this too scary before bed?
yes, of course. Of course.
I guess I'll go in there and be aware of like the sharp tools on the floor.
Okay, so you go in and you look, because there's a rake that you almost would have stepped on and it probably would have swung up and hit you, but because you mentioned that you're looking for the tools, you're able to avoid that rake, but you do, as you walk in, the darkness seems to be kind of oppressive, like it's pressing in on you, and almost for a second you think you see some of the tools moving on their own, but it could just be your imagination. I need you to make a spot hidden roll. To see if
65. 41.
41. So you notice that there's a rack for an axe, but the axe is missing.
Oh, that one guy that murdered the children and the
Of course,
mom.
that was 30 years ago. But there is no axe there now. Make a sanity roll. So you have a sanity
Where
score.
is that? Is it?
It's kind of under your characteristics. It's above your skills. It'll say sanity.
Just a second.
I see
Oh,
it.
current sanity? It
So-
says nothing.
So to the left of that, it should say 99, and then there'll be another number. 99 is your maximum, and then in the box to the left of that should be another number.
Wait, where does it say that? I found sanity, but it doesn't say any numbers.
So in the little box to the left of it,
Oh,
say
yeah.
99.
99 and 65.
So your sanity is 65. So you need to roll below that sanity score, or you might...
Please. 26.
26.
Woo!
So had you failed that, you would have probably screamed or squealed or frozen or fainted and lost a point of sanity. But you didn't. You're able to hang on.
Don't worry, I'm a brave dude.
So it seems that everything's okay in the shed, other than there's a missing axe.
Well, maybe one of the servants was just chopping down a big tree.
Well, anything's possible, I suppose.
And maybe he took it down to the town to get it cleaned, and he forgot about it, and yeah.
That's very possible. There's usually a good explanation for things. You know that.
Yeah, unless it's like a murdering dude hiding in the shed somewhere about to chop me.
So as you get sitting a little crooked on the foundation, and like the floors aren't quite straight, and the roof's a little tilted, and like some of the walls almost look like they're sort of bowed out, like this place is about to fall apart.
Maybe it's built and there's a tiny landslide.
Could have been. In fact, it looks like there was some sort of shifting in the foundation, and it's caused
Continental
it
drift.
to bend. I mean, it happens in houses all the time.
Yeah.
So, before we move on, let's take a short break, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We just had to turn on a little bit more light. We were trying this just by candlelight, and it was getting to be a little bit too intense. So we decided to turn a little extra light on. Plus, that makes it a little easier for the camera to see everyone. So, we are outside the house. Are we ready to go in? What do you want to do?
Well, I went in the shed first. I think it's Phoebe's turn to go first.
So the house, it looks like a 2-story house. It's a pretty good-sized mansion. There's a large front door, and if you wander around the back, there's probably a back door as well. It's very silent. It's shuttered, brooding, cobwebbed. There's ivy on it. The wind kind of blows through the shutters over the windows. It's large and well constructed. It's very substantial. From the outside, you might note that the entire building presents a strange, slightly skewed or tilted in appearance. Maybe the foundations are solid. They look to be okay, but sometimes houses settle, sometimes foundations settle.
Okay.
You do notice that there's 2 floors, and there's a large front door up a short flight of steps. The door's in carved oak with a fine brass knocker. What do you do?
I guess I'll go in.
You have to go first. I went first in the shed. And the fence.
Are you going to knock first, or just open the door?
Knock.
Okay, I'll knock.
The knocker is ice cold to the touch. And you knock. There's no answer.
There's probably gonna be something waiting in there for me.
Like an axe trap, like you walk in.
The sheriff said he came into the house and didn't
Sure.
see anything out of the ordinary. You guys want to go into the house?
Yeah. Wait, did he come in the daytime or the nighttime?
I don't know.
We should have.
Oh, we should ask that. Well, I guess Phoebe gets to go in first this time because I went in first on the shed.
Fine.
So, you gonna walk in, Phoebe?
Fine.
You gonna go in? Okay, so here's a map. This part here is the downstairs. This part's the upstairs. When you go upstairs, so don't look at it yet. Down here at the bottom is the front door.
Okay.
So you're gonna come in right there, and then I don't know where next.
Hey, I'm the one who came in first.
All right. So the front door opens into a large hallway. You take a few steps in, and a huge wet chunk of plaster shivers off the wall and gently falls down to the floor. You notice that the ceiling is moist and dark.
Okay.
Like there's some sort of, like, maybe there's a leak in the roof or something, but there's sort of wet water stains all down the walls. And the floors are actually a little bit damp in here. So damp that you don't see any footprints. There's no dust or anything. It's all kind of wet.
That's interesting. This plan, they remind me of like a woodland mansion on Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
These floor plans.
So where would you like to go?
Well, I think we should investigate the cloakroom first, because it's right next to where we enter.
You want to go into the cloakroom?
Yeah, because it's right there, the doorway, where you put all your coats and stuff.
When you open the door, it's dark in here. There's a huge dark figure standing there.
It's just a coat.
It's just a coat hanging on a rack.
That's like it comes to life. I'm like,
Just a coat on a rack.
I'm probably gonna see like my chair in the middle of the night. Just
Okay, so
Now
there's
what?
nothing else in there.
Just a couple of old dusty coats, maybe a few hats.
Can I turn on any lights?
You flick there are some electric light switches. You flick on the switch, but the power doesn't seem to be on.
Oh, where are the? Actually, I'm not gonna try that. It's just gonna take too much work. Let's see. Well, so there's nothing in the cloakroom.
Well, you do have a lighter. If you want to open up your lighter, you could probably shine it in the dark a little bit.
Maybe. I think I kind of want to go and see what's in the dining room, because that's kind of close to it.
Off to the dining room.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go look around in there, kind of in the hallway along the way, see if there's anything.
So you notice as you walk, the floors are still a little damp. You enter the dining room. There's a small table and a chair for one person. Arthur lives here by himself. There's a large silver service laid out, like a silver tea set, and things like that. There's slivers of broken glass on the floor here, and you notice a pepper shaker. Looks like it's been broken. A little pile of pepper right there on the floor, and the walls are cracked and moist.
Oh, what is that moistness? Is it water?
Well, you're gonna go and touch it, smell it,
On the
feel
floor and the wall, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll let you go ahead and investigate that. Do you have a skill that might help you out with that? Maybe spot hidden?
Yeah, so 65.
Okay,
Let's try. 52.
so that's below your spot hidden. If you haven't checked that one already, go
I
ahead and
already
check
have
it.
checked it.
Okay. It's definitely... It feels like water, but it's a little thicker, almost like a little bit slimy.
Slime.
Sort of. But it's not like real ooey gooey slime, but it's just sort of like, you know, when you get like shampoo almost sort of feeling.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely not water, but maybe the rain is mixed with crud in the attic and washed down into here. You don't know. Or maybe it's mixed with the plaster on the walls, or the wallpaper paste or something. Made it kind of slimy in here. Phoebe, make a spot hidden roll as well.
where's the dice? Okay. 36.
So if you've not checked that, make sure you check spot hidden.
Okay.
You notice that while there's a broken pepper shaker, there is no salt shaker on the table.
Maybe. Oh, maybe he was just refilling his salt shakers, because that's why he ordered salt.
A dump truck load of salt. Probably a large salt shaker. Well, he likes a lot of salt on his food.
Yeah.
Okay, where else do you explore in this house?
So, I want to just go look around the hallway and like the halls and stuff.
I have an idea.
Yes, what's your idea?
Maybe the killer he used.
Well, how do you know there's a killer?
Hello there.
Well, maybe the person.
Well, there was a killer 30 years ago.
Yeah. He maybe used the salt to take him out, and then he tried the pepper, and it wouldn't work.
To make him sneeze?
Yeah.
Well, actually, so we're in the dining room, and the only way to get to the kitchen is from the dining room and the pantry. So
do you want to go into the kitchen?
yeah,
The kitchen. Interesting.
and the laundry room. You can only get 50 minutes in the kitchen.
So there's a series of metal canisters on the shelf above the stove. There's flour, sugar, tea, and coffee inside those canisters. It's obvious that there's something missing because there's a gap in there, in between the flour, the sugar, the tea, and the coffee. There's a canister. It looks like it's missing. There's just a space there. There's a door here that looks like it leads down into the cellar.
Okay. We could go into the cellar.
You go try the door. and the door it won't budge. It's not locked. There's no lock on it. You just sometimes, like when a house shifts, it squeezes the doors, and you can't get that door open.
Can I try kicking it?
You can. So go ahead and make a strength roll.
Strength. Where's my strength?
It's at the top.
At the very top.
One of your characteristics.
Yeah. It's 75. 43.
So that's a really good roll, and you kick and you push and you shove, and it just won't budge out of that jam. So even though you know you've kicked it as hard as you can, any door should have just busted open. That one just won't budge.
Okay. Well then, in that case, I will not go into the cellar, and instead, I will try to look in like the pantry.
Okay, Phoebe, make an idea roll. Remember that? It's your intelligence.
Also, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna keep calling out Mr. Cornthwaite's.
Cornthwaite?
Yeah,
Cornthwaite.
Eventually you'll get his name right.
Cornthwaite's name. Just like kind of, like asking if he's there. Are you there? Any servants?
26.
26. So if you're looking at those canisters, the flour, the sugar, the tea, the coffee, you know what's probably missing is what? Salt. We have one over here in our kitchen for salt.
Sorry.
And like that one, we have flour and sugar. The salt one is probably the one that's missing. This music getting a little tense.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay, so where were you going to go, Jerry?
The pantry.
The pantry. As soon as you walk in here, there's a terrible, rotting, meaty smell coming from in here.
It's probably just raw meat.
Yeah, there's an ice box. It's what they had instead of refrigerators. It was a box, and they would actually put ice in it and keep their food in there and keep it cold. But if he's not been seen for a while, it's probably rotting inside there.
This is like a dead dude in
Do
there.
you want to look?
Yeah.
Want to look in the ice
Well,
box?
Please don't let their
I want
friends
to, like, are they like those big freezers that you open up, or are they like a refrigerator?
Kind of looks sort of like a refrigerator.
Okay, then I'm gonna, like, get behind the door as I open it.
Alright, so you grab hold of the handle, and you go to pull on it, and just then, you hear a strange sound outside the front door.
Oh.
Then you hear the creaking of floorboards outside the front door.
I'm ready.
You gonna open it up?
No.
Yes.
You open it up, and there's just rotting meat, and the smell almost makes you throw up. It's so terrible. You close the door, and again you hear that, like my chair.
Okay, then I'm gonna say, Phoebe, let's go investigate.
Okay.
You first. And I'll, like, push her through the door. Ladies first.
So you're gonna go up to the front door, where you heard that creaking sound,
Yeah. Well, we're in the kitchen and the pantry, so we'd have to go through the dining room first.
or you could. From the kitchen you can get into the hallway and go straight there.
Okay.
See the door
Yeah.
above the laundry. Do you want to check the laundry on your way or no?
Nah.
Nah.
All right. So you go, and from there you also see the back door that leads outside, and there's this long hallway stretching in front of you, and you can sort of see like around the door. There's a slight gap. You can see light coming in, and you can see a shadow just on the other side of the door. There's something standing on the other side of the door.
Oh.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I don't want to shoot it if it's like a police officer, like the taxi driver, man. But if it's like a killer dude,
It's maybe been about an hour.
so he's probably left by now.
Well, or it could be the taxi driver to see if you're there.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do?
Just say, who is it? And I'm gonna have my gun like ready to shoot.
You gonna holler that out? Who is it?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the creaking noise stops.
I'm gonna fire at the door.
Oh.
Really?
Well, if it was someone I knew, they probably would have responded.
And you hear a voice call out, "Is there someone there?"
It's Batman.
It's Batman.
Mr.
Batman.
It's
Cornthwaite.
He says, "Is there someone there?"
Is Mr. Cornthwaite? It's Batman, actually. He even looks kind of like Batman in the picture.
He
So-
looks like
So what are you gonna do? He just hollered out, "Is there someone there?"
I'm gonna say, who are you? Identify yourself or I will shoot.
Let me just change the music here real quick.
I'm gonna say I have a loaded AK-47, and I'm not afraid to use it. I will
They
blast.
didn't have AK-47s.
What type of machine gun would they have? Like
Well, they would have
automatic?
like a Tommy gun, like a Thompson machine
I
gun.
was gonna say I have a Tommy gun, and I'm not afraid to use it, even though I only have a pistol.
This is Joe Varelli. Please don't shoot. Who are you?
Oh, who's Joe? We didn't discover him.
Oh,
Who's Joe Varelli?
he's the one guy who the
The
newspaper.
reporter for the newspaper.
Wait, his name's. I thought it was
But
Stan.
Remember, he told you
mentioned-
Joe wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Good job. Very good.
Ah, good remembered. I was about to shoot his head open.
I know. So you gonna let him in?
Yeah, yeah. I'll be like, come on in.
You open the door, and as soon as you open it, you see this man standing there, and in his right hand, he's holding a rusted axe. And he says, "Who are you?"
I said, I'm a police detective.
He says, "Oh,
fellow reporter.
oh. Well, I came up here. My boss told me you guys might be up here. I found this axe out in the garden."
He's just like
And
holding
then
an
he
axe.
kind of holds it out and says, I don't know if something happened, this might be important. And he sets it down on the front porch. May I come into the... Actually, I'm doing the wrong voice again. May I come into the house?
I'll say, come on in, just don't harm us.
Come on
Oh,
in.
why would I harm you? I'm just a reporter. I'm just here to get the scoop.
Okay.
Oh, that voice is rough on my windpipe.
Well, so I'll say, okay, come on in.
Sure.
Oh, what have you guys found? Well, is Mr.
Well-
Cornthwaite here?
No, but we found a bunch of rotting meat, some broken pepper, and some missing salt.
Well, I don't think we're going to stay for dinner then. This whole house just kind of stinks in here, and it's all wet. What is all
What
this?
was that?
It's a wrapper down there. Sure, a lot of water down in this house. Well, have you searched the whole house?
No, we've only just barely started.
Well, let's see what else there is to find. Let's split up and we can cover more area that way.
Oh, gee.
Okay.
Oh, if you want, we can stay together.
Well, you're gonna go on your own.
No, I'll stay with you. I think maybe that's a good idea.
Okay, well, we were just looking at the kitchen. We were about to go into the laundry room, except we heard you coming in.
Well, don't let me stop you.
Okay, so let's just go to the laundry room then.
The laundry room.
Yeah.
Okay. You walk in there, and this has empty, disused tubs with kind of weird sediment in there, like they haven't cleaned out the tubs. And there's a linen closet that's closed.
Oh, gee.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get like behind the door and open it, so like whatever comes out
It's
of
just a linen closet. All right.
Some like dirty laundry's gonna be like.
So you're getting behind the door and opening it, not standing in front of it.
No.
You open it up, and all these towels just fall out. They were very poorly balanced, and they fall
What
into
if
a
they
pile
were
on the floor.
mummy towels?
Don't mummy. This is the 1920s.
Oh. Well, mummies were made like 2000.
Yes. All right. So that seems to be all there is. There's a lot of water damage in this room as well. On the ceiling, you can see like some big stains up on the ceiling where it looks
Maybe
like
there's
water's-
like a bathtub draining, because that's why it smelled like shampoo. Is there shampoo
It's possible.
in it?
Yeah, this one feels kind of a little bit slimier than water too.
Well, in that case, we're trying to investigate that area. So on our way out, let's hit the storage area.
Storage. Which one? The one by the pantry? The smart
Yeah.
storage?
Yeah, the storage.
Alright. Hang on.
But I don't know. Might be something in there. Maybe like servants storing things away.
The storage room, it's filled with junk, boxes, crates, barrels, and so on. The center of the floor, there's a huge area with mold and a lot of moisture. In fact, it looks like it might be a little bit weakened in that area, like it's kind of rotting through the floor right there. You want to walk through the room?
I'll say, Phoebe, you go ahead and you're the reporter. Find some juicy stuff in here.
You gonna walk through that room? Looks like the floor might give away. You don't have to.
You don't have to. It's just
Sure.
Okay.
why
You gonna
not?
do it?
probably gonna fall into the.
Are you sure?
You're just gonna fall in the cellar and we couldn't get you out.
Yeah, okay, I'm not doing it.
No, you said you were gonna do it.
Are you going to do it?
No.
Would you do it if you were Phoebe?
Probably not.
No.
You should do it. It won't fall through, I promise.
I think
You don't have to.
I don't want to.
Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna like tap my foot on the soft areas, like put
It's
weight.
really soft. In fact, if you put all your weight on it, you'd probably fall right through into the cellar.
Okay.
Probably get hurt.
I'd be stuck down there
Probably.
because I couldn't get the door open. It'd be scary down there.
Be very dark.
Yeah.
Probably
I
die.
don't know.
Maybe.
Be something down there, eat you.
Could be. You never know. Maybe a big rat.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well, then let's go to the study room because that's right next to the storage room.
the study.
Yeah.
Lying open on the roll-top desk is a book. It's called The Missing People, The Tribe That the Jungle Swallowed by Thomas Pratt. This book's in pretty poor condition. The binding is cracked. There's odd stains and some pages are loose. Probably skim through it pretty quickly if someone wanted to read through the book.
You go ahead and do that.
Okay.
You want to skim through it?
Sure.
Okay. This is kind of a summary of the book. I'll go ahead and read it. Thomas Pratt. Published in 1913, Oxford, England. This book concerns a South American tribe in ancient times whose existence is testified to by various ruins, but of whose demise nothing is known. The book is based on legends of the tribe and archaeological discoveries. Pratt makes note of the tribe's religious fervor and conjectures that they may have been wiped out in a civil holy war. He mentions in particular a great dome, depicted in carvings and art. He believes that this was an actual stone structure, that it probably still stands, and may well house the last secrets of the missing people.
Well, didn't he say he went on a trip to South America to find something like that?
Well, they said that he had just gotten back like a year or two ago from expedition to South America.
Maybe he was looking for that.
Probably was using that for research.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe he'd have some more stuff like that in his library.
You want to go in the library?
Like if he had more research. Does he have any more research on the table?
There's a lot of papers. Most of the papers are blank or pretty water damaged and rotted. Some have writing, and a lot of it just looks to be like lists of equipment, things someone might take on like an expedition. Do you want to go look in the library?
Sure.
See if he has anything in there, like about his studies.
Phoebe, make a library use roll.
Okay.
What's your library use? Your library use is 47.
And I got 36.
So make sure you check the box.
I already did.
So the library has books on exploring, archaeology, history, anthropology, and more. There's many gaps in the shelves, and you notice that there are no books whatsoever about the South American continent in here. They've all been removed.
I wonder if there's a secret passageway. Just start pulling like on all of them.
Make a spot hidden roll.
Okay, where's the dice? 65. Whoop. I rolled a 41.
Make sure you check that box if you haven't. You see an oddly bulging knot hole in the wood paneling. So there's a knot hole that's kind of poking out a little bit. Since you said you're searching.
Yeah. Is that like I poke it?
You want to try and pry it out or something?
Yeah, like just see if it does anything.
Make a dexterity roll.
Where's dexterity? Oh, it's 75. Okay. 21.
Oh, very good. Inside is a tubular hollow opening into which a yellowed piece of paper has been stuffed. The paper is covered on both sides with closely packed writing. It has aged badly. It's almost illegible except for a signature, A.C. And
Arthur Cornwaite.
let me read the letter. It says, "To whom it may concern, I am writing this statement in the event of my joining my staff and my expedition members in death. I, Arthur Cornthwaite, being of sound mind and body." No time for formality or legalisms. It is the thing I must tell you of. What is sanity when faced with this? I thought I had fled from it in that foul green place, that accursed temple, yet somehow it has followed me here. I know the signs, there can be no mistake, it is with me. It is a thing so clever, so terrible that, melodrama, what's the point? Notes to myself in an empty house. Whoever reads this knows or will know of it. But what you must also know is that it has a weakness so simple, so... The note ends here.
Why couldn't you just tell us the rest, bro? So, it's probably Cthulhu. I bet it was like a temple of Cthulhu, and they, like, bugged it, and then Cthulhu was angry at them.
Well, your characters don't know what Cthulhu is or anything about Cthulhu.
But that's my player theory.
So, now what would you like to do?
Well, so is there anything else like that around the room? Any secret places?
None that you looked, and you looked for quite a while.
Okay. Well, that was a good discovery.
So it's starting to get kind of late afternoon at this point. You spent a couple hours.
Wait, we spent the whole night there?
Well, no, not yet. I mean, you got here probably around lunchtime, and now it's probably like 3 or 4. You spent a few hours searching the garden and the shed and inside the house so far. You still have upstairs to look.
Okay. I want to go look at the parlor and then that empty room. I'm just going to search the whole downstairs.
Actually, before we do that, Jerry, make a psychology roll.
Psychology, where is that?
With a P, P-S-Y.
Oh. 59. 59, wow.
Oh, make sure you check the box.
Or 56, sorry, not
56?
59, yeah.
So, when you read the paper, you detect that this person was severely emotionally imbalanced. That this is like paranoid person writing this sort of stuff.
Like he was crazy?
Yeah, like this is not what a sane, normal person would write about. This just seems really weird.
Okay, well,
You gonna go upstairs?
I want to go in his parlor first.
The parlor?
Yeah. And then his empty room. I don't know. Could be stuff in there.
Well, there's several comfy chairs in the parlor, waiting patiently for absent guests. A lot of water damage in here, even on the chairs.
So, nothing in there really?
No, nothing really.
And then I'm assuming there's probably nothing in the empty room.
Well, you can go look. It's pretty empty. It looks like it's maybe a dance room. Just a flat wooden floor, but there's a lot of water damage. There's water stains all over the wood, and it's a little bit warped in areas on the floor.
Okay,
But
well,
other than that, it's empty.
let's go upstairs then.
Joe says, I'm going to stick around here in the library. I'm going to read a few more of these books and see if I can find any more notes. You guys go on up ahead. I'll catch up to you in 10-15 minutes. I'll be right there.
Okay.
So you go up the stairs into where?
I want to go to the den.
The den?
Yeah, to the den.
You walk in and hang on. Just a second. You walk in and there's a shotgun hanging above the mantelpiece.
Okay. Is it...
Otherwise, there's like a sofa. There's a small table with a lamp. There's a small ashtray on the table. Looks like this is just kind of a comfortable place to come and relax.
Can I take the shotgun down?
I'm sure. It looks to be a perfectly normal shotgun.
Are there any shells?
You open it up and it is unloaded.
Okay. Is there any shells around his den? Maybe his trophy room might have some?
Make a spot hidden.
Okay, so 65. 28.
So there are no shotgun shells in this room, but you're kind of thinking about it now, so when you go into the other rooms, you'll probably be looking for them as well.
Okay. Sounds good.
So after the den, where would you like to go?
To the trophy room?
The trophy room.
Yes.
This room is locked.
Oh.
Want to try and open the door?
Yeah, I'm going to try and, bust it open.
Okay. Make a locksmith roll.
I don't have anything in that.
Okay, make a strength roll if you just want to try and kick it open. Or do you want to do anything, Phoebe?
Don't. Strength. Oh, yeah, strength is up there. Sorry, 75. Oh, this is a good one. It's 47.
You kick the door open, and it swings wide open. Inside, it's gathering dust. There's loot from tombs the world over. There's pots, vases, statuettes, carvings, musical instruments, idols, and more. Some of them seem to be looking at you intently, and you know they're just statues, but they seem to be watching you.
Any shells?
You don't see any shotgun shells, but while you're looking, one of the items actually falls off of a shelf and hits the floor and clatters. And
Was it trying to hit me?
no, it wasn't trying to hit you. It was just 10, 15 feet away, but kind of frightened you. And you look around, and they all seem to be staring at you with painted outrage, flat eyes hostile to the men who removed them from their ancestral homes.
Ugh, creepy.
Phoebe, make an archaeology roll. What's your archaeology score? What does it say?
Where would that be?
You don't have anything.
So, there should be a number next to archaeology. What does it say?
0.1 or 0.1.
So you have a 1% chance.
You gotta roll a 1.
Gotta roll a 1.
That's probably not gonna happen.
38.
No.
If you rolled a 1, you'd be so lucky.
So that's what you find in the trophy room.
Okay. And so are the eyes like following us?
No, it's just kind of a trick of the mind. It's like all these statues, and you walk in, they seem to be looking at you, and every time you look, it's like they're just staring at you.
Okay. Well, goodbye, creepy statues.
Now, where are you going to go to?
I'm gonna go to the guest room that's down from the balcony. So, like, you go across the balcony from
Across
the
the
trophy
balcony
room,
to
and
the guest bedroom?
there's the guest room, bedroom number 1.
Okay,
That one.
No, that one.
Oh.
let's see. Okay, here we go. You notice some tiny black handprints all over the floor in here. Make a... Do you have
Handprints?
like a track?
Wait, handprints?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's weird.
Do you have a tracking roll or tracking skill?
Check. Just give me a second. Gotta find it. 50.
Okay, make a roll.
I dropped it twice. There we go. 42.
Check the box next to it. You notice that the tracks seem to lead under the bed.
Track. There we go. Okay.
Phoebe, make a listen roll.
That's
I
good.
have list one.
There you go.
I have 69 in listen.
So roll.
Probably gonna get something bad.
93.
93.
Yep, so you're just kind of freaked out, and all you hear is like your own breathing and your heart beating in your chest.
Could I try to listen?
Sure.
Okay. Dice. Q. Where's my lesson? 60. It's
Okay.
not bad. 31.
Excellent. Make sure you check the box. You hear some scratching.
Scratching. That's creepy.
Sounds like it's coming from under the bed.
I don't want to go under the bed.
I'm gonna say, is there anybody down there? And I'm gonna have my gun ready to like shoot.
The scratching stops. You want to get down and peek under the bed?
Well, I'm gonna like back up a little bit to peek under, so I'm like
Probably
not right under there.
Okay.
Probably like a dog.
So you get down on your hands and knees and you look. And at first you don't see anything, and then as your eyes adjust,
There's like 2 eyes looking back at me.
you see 2 eyes. And a horrific black beast, 2 feet long with red-rimmed eyes and human-like hands, bursts out. Both of you make a sanity roll.
Oh, that's creepy.
Where's sanity?
I rolled 95.
Okay,
Oh,
so you're going to lose some sanity.
Okay, so I'm at.
Oh, hang on.
28.
So you make your sanity check. You don't. So you are going to go, ah! And you scream, and you're going to roll the 4-sided dice. And you'll take, and then divide it by 2. That's how many sanity points you're going to
This
lose.
6-sided. Where's the 4-sided?
Or you can do the 6-sided. What did you get?
3.
3. So you lose 2 points of sanity. So what's your sanity right now? Next to the 99, what's the other number?
65.
So write 63 in the box.
Is that good or bad?
Well, you've just lost 2 points of sanity. If you, at any point, if you ever lose 5 points or more in one roll like that, then you'll go temporarily insane. Because that just like, ooh, totally gave you the willies. But you failed your roll, but you didn't lose too many sanity points, but you did lose a few, and so you actually screamed.
Where'd it go?
It's still kind of under the bed. It ran out at you and hissed, and then it crawled back under the bed.
Hissed.
Like, kind of
Like
like
a
how
cat?
raccoons do.
A raccoon?
Yeah.
Can I shoot?
You want to shoot the raccoon? It's just scared.
Oh, it's a
probably
raccoon?
scared. Yeah, it's a raccoon.
Oh, I thought it was like a creepy
No.
little like weird thing with like actual human hands.
It's just a little
I was like-
raccoon.
I thought it was like a weird alien that has human hands and walks like really long.
Okay, well then I'll say goodbye, Mr. Raccoon.
Just gonna leave him in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he can enjoy his day.
Alright.
Don't want to bug him.
Well, now what are you gonna do?
I guess I'll go try and look at the other guest bedroom, see if there's another raccoon.
The other guest bedroom?
Yep.
Make a spot hidden.
Spot hidden. 65. 16.
What's your
13. It's almost a really good one.
almost an extreme success. This room seems perfectly free of raccoons. There's water damage in here. This room has a fireplace in it, but it looks like there's not been a fire lit for years.
Okay. Well, then there's nothing else in there?
Nope.
Okay, well then I guess there's only 2 more places we need to check in this house and see if there's Mr.
Mr. Cornthwaite.
Cornthwaite.
Okay, where else you gonna check?
The master bedroom.
The master bedroom. This expensively furnished room contains much in the way of clothing and personal effects. There's several valuable objects such as a gold-plated cigar case, a diamond tie pin, things like that. The ceiling is moist and water occasionally drips from the center. The fireplace also shows moisture around the edges. You notice around the fireplace 9 partially disassembled shotgun cartridges. The powder and shot has been scooped out and separated into neat little piles.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I can't use it.
Directly in front of the fireplace is a pair of fluffy blue men's slippers. Both of you make a spot hidden roll.
73. Or 37, not 73.
What did you roll, Amelia?
I rolled 28.
So, Jerry notices that there's a line of white crystals along the bottom of the doors and across the windowsills at all the points of entry. You notice, Phoebe, that there's a translucent, kind of almost a see-through stain on the fireplace. And near the fireplace, you see a crystal salt shaker under the rug.
You want to check it out?
Fine. I'll check it out.
What do you check out?
The salt shaker.
Salt shaker? Okay, it looks like it matches that broken pepper shaker that you saw downstairs.
What's it doing up here?
Maybe he just really likes his salt and wanted to take it up to his room.
It's possible.
Well, you want to check it?
Sure.
Check. What are you going to check with it?
Well, like, if there's anything around it.
Oh, yeah, no.
No?
Seems to
Just
be
dust.
And what was that translucent thing you said?
kind of like a stain, which...
I would have checked that out.
Okay, well, it just looks like there's some sort of... It could be from, like, salt water, maybe stained it, or something. You're not sure what might have caused that.
Okay. Well, from there you continue into the bathroom, correct?
You want to head into the bathroom?
Yeah, there's nothing in here.
Sure.
This has a large, luxurious bathroom. When you look in the mirror, you notice your reflection, and there's writing across your face in the dust of the polished glass. Someone has written something with their finger. It says NACL. Make an education roll.
Knackle?
Make an education roll, Phoebe. So you should have at the top an EDU.
I don't see it.
Up there. EDU, 65.
60.
Make a roll.
87.
Yeah, so you have no idea what knackle. Is it supposed to be nickel? Is it
Or
initials or what?
Let me try this.
I need a piece
Oh,
of
I got an
paper.
81.
It could be like backwards.
So it'd be LCAN. Lacan.
Can.
I need to use Lacan.
Lacan. Well, you're in the bathroom.
Can I try looking at it a few more minutes and try rolling again to see if I can tell what it says?
Yeah.
I just want to really find out what it said. 14.
So you think that based on the writing, you think it might actually be like a chemical formula, like maybe something from chemistry class. You sort of remember in high school that the different molecules combine together to make compounds. And
Maybe that's its weakness.
And Na is sodium and Cl is chloride. And sodium chloride, that's salt. That's the That's the fancy word for salt, is sodium chloride.
Maybe it's his weakness. Salt. I'm gonna say, let's go get that salt shaker.
Okay,
Okay?
sure. I'll get the salt and put it in a bag.
Well, no, not in a bag. It's in a shaker.
Alright, you got the salt shaker.
Yeah.
Phoebe, make a listen roll.
Give me the dice. Oh, where's my listen? We'll find it in a minute. Okay. So,
Your listen is 25.
and I got
Or 69.
I got 41.
So make sure you check the box. So you notice you don't actually hear something, it's more the absence of what you hear. You'd kind of gotten used to hearing Joe Varelli downstairs. You could hear him kind of coughing a little bit and sniffling like he had some allergies or a cold or something. You haven't heard it for a few minutes.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, did he get like... Well, we would have heard him if he got murdered.
He would have like screamed.
But yeah, for some reason you haven't heard anything.
Unless I like covered his mouth. I'm gonna like grab that salt shaker. Give me that. And like just walk out with the salt. Like,
Well, he might grab it out of your hand.
So where are you gonna go?
well, I'm gonna take the salt and I'm gonna... And we've already investigated the bathroom, so...
Yep.
I'm gonna go like see if Joe is okay.
So you're gonna head downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay. One second. You head over to the stairwell, and as you turn,
You see Mr.
I'll
Cornflake?
show you a picture. I don't have a printout of this picture. But you head down the stairs, and the entire first floor is filled with a green, thick ooze,
That's disgusting.
slurping and sliding all through the floor. It looks to be about 4 or 5 feet thick. The whole first floor of the mansion is covered with this bubbling green ooze. You see little mouths that kind of open up and little tendrils come out.
He mentioned something about something green in one of these notes.
You guys need to make sanity rolls.
Here we go. 65. 13.
Okay, and what do you get, Phoebe?
So...
You got a 6 and a 9.
Is it a 96 or a 69?
Wait.
It was a 6 and a 9, but you moved it.
Oh, yeah. It was
So-
a 6-9.
Well, let me see. Are you rolling the wrong dice?
Am I?
No, they're the right dice. But was it 69 or 96?
I think it was 96.
Roll them again.
Yeah, I think
Roll it
was-
again.
Okay.
Don't move them.
27 this time.
Okay.
But it was 69 the first
Okay.
time.
And you have an 85 sanity.
Yeah.
So thank goodness you guys don't lose any sanity. But this is some massive slime creature. And it starts oozing up the stairs, and 2 little tendril, almost like tentacle arms, start shooting up the stairs, reaching towards you.
Ow. That's gross. I'm gonna like
You
shake the
need
salt.
to make a dodge roll to get out of the way.
37. Oh, 37. That's hard.
So tell me what you get.
Okay. Let's see. 23. That's lucky.
So that's a success. Let me see the dice, please. So you are trying to dodge this creature's attack.
Yeah.
This creature is going to swipe at you, and it gets a 36.
So wait, I dodge it?
So the way that combat works is if something attacks you and you dodge, you see if you got a regular success, a hard success, or an extreme success.
I got a hard success, right?
No, you got a regular success.
Oh, I got a regular success.
And so did the creature. And so if you're dodging, ties go to the person dodging. So you're able to dodge out of the way. If you were fighting back with your fists, ties go to the attacker. So you were able to dodge out of the way. Go ahead and put a check marks next to your dodge.
Okay, I'm also gonna start shaking that salt at it.
You want to run?
No, I'm gonna just sprinkle it along the stairs. Like, don't come up here. There's salt.
Okay. do you holler out? Well, you probably were coming around the corner and you see this. And it's just like raising the whole shape, and you feel the house starting to shake and tremble, and it's oozing itself up the stairs. So you're sprinkling salt,
Yes.
and since you stayed on the stairs, you're going to have to dodge again. It swipes at you again.
Wait, I was on the stairs?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were going through the corner about.
Oh, okay, so you can back up and start putting it there. So he
Yeah.
rolled a 47. You can do another dodge.
Yeah. An 83.
Ooh. So he actually strikes you. He's going to hit you. Roll the four-sided dice.
Or 6-sided.
No, the four-sided.
Okay, where is it then?
The little pyramid.
Oh, that one. What do you get? I don't get how that
What's the
dice.
number? Should be the top number.
Oh. Then in that case, I got a 4-3-2.
No.
I don't know how these work.
Okay, so you roll it. The very topmost number on all the sides will be the same.
Oh.
That's a 1.
So
See
one.
the 1 at the top?
Yeah. Okay.
You take 1 hit point of damage. So your current hit points are 14, so write 13.
Okay, I have no idea how those dice work.
When that hits 0, you're dying. So you got lucky. You could have taken 4 points of damage there, which would have been like a more than a fourth of your hit points. So you got lucky. All right, Phoebe, what are you gonna do?
Am I around the corner
Yep.
with him yet?
You're right next to me.
Oh. I guess I'll just follow him then. Keep moving.
Well, he's
up
standing
the
there
stairs.
getting. No, well, you're up the top of the stairs now, but you're upstairs. The whole bottom floor is filled with this giant monster.
Is he still sprinkling the salt?
Yeah, but it's just pushing right up the stairs. Probably gonna blow right past that salt.
Oh no, my salt defenses. I'm just gonna.
In fact, as it comes up, when it hits that salt, you see it just kind of sizzle, like this horrible green smoke comes out, and the creature recoils for a second, and then just pushes right past it.
I'm gonna like start chucking, like put salt in my hand and just like chuck it at it.
Yeah.
And like as I'm trying to run towards a window.
Okay, so there are some windows.
I'll just start climbing out.
So, you just gonna start climbing out? Oh, I'm like just chucking salt at it, like you're away, you big blob. Okay, so is there like a climbing?
Yes.
Yeah, climb.
So you're gonna roll your climb.
I have a 20 in that.
Where's my climb?
It's right there. You have a 22.
I have a 20%.
Go ahead and roll your climb.
26.
Okay, do you want to spend some? There we go. The battery on the camera died, so there might be a short break in the action there.
We're operational.
So you were trying to climb down the ivy, and you missed it by 6 points. So you spent some luck, correct? Mm-hmm. Thank goodness. You're able to climb down. You're a little bit closer to the ground, but you're going to have to jump a little ways.
That's what I feared.
So you want to go ahead and make a jump roll.
Oh, okay.
You got a 13?
And what's your jump score?
Let me find it. Jump.
I have a 20%.
20.
And you got a 13?
Yeah.
Okay, so you only take a little bit of damage. Roll a 6-sided dice.
Right here.
Okay. 6.
You take 3 points of damage. So take your current hit points, which are is it
12.
12, and it's going to be 9.
Okay.
But you are outside, you're down on the ground, and you can see Jerry kind of up by the window. What are you going to do?
Just start climbing out, because I just shake salt around the window, like...
That'll probably slow it down enough. So make a climb roll.
Okay, where's my climbing powers? I have 20. Okay. I got an 81.
Well, you probably don't have 60 points of luck that you want
I
to
have
burn.
50 points of luck.
So,
I'm just gonna jump. I'm just gonna be like, I don't care, and try to jump in a bush.
I'd rather fall from the ground than...
so you're going to take, well, go ahead and make a jump roll.
Okay,
Because maybe you can try and jump and land in the bushes.
20. A 66. Oh.
All right. Did you put a check mark on your climb? Oh, no, you used luck. Never mind.
Yeah.
But no, one of them you got without a luck roll. Was it jump?
Yeah. No, it was a climb.
Yeah. Climb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So put a check mark on the one that you got without a luck roll. So you missed it. So you're going to roll the 6-sided dice twice, and that's how many hit points of damage. Don't kill your character.
2.
And one more.
2.
So 4 points of damage.
That's not bad.
Whew. So you're down to 9.
What are you at?
9.
Oh, so I'm pretty tough. I'm like, I'm just laying on my feet.
So you guys hit the ground pretty hard. You see the big slime kind of reaching that top window, and then it retreats, and then the windows on the bottom floor bulge out and then explode as the slime slowly starts oozing out of the house.
I'm just gonna is it nighttime right now?
It's about 7 o'clock at night. It's getting dark.
I'm just gonna start charging for the gate.
Okay. You run to the gate. The creature's pretty slow. You'll be able to make it to the gate. It's open because you blew a hole in it.
Okay, I'm gonna have my salt shaker behind me, just.
Well, it's out of salt at this point.
Okay.
You look back and the slime, sensing that you're far away, oozes back into the house.
That's why you wanted a truckload of salt. I see.
So now what do you do? It's about a 10-mile walk back to town at night.
Ugh. Oh no, I'm gonna get my gun and. You said there's other mansions around, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
How far away are they?
Oh, maybe half a mile.
Oh, that's a long. I guess it's better than 10 miles.
I've
I'm gonna run to one of them.
Okay, so you guys head over to another mansion. You knock on the door. Do you have your gun out still?
Or no, I'm gonna put it holster it.
Okay. And they open the door and it's an old woman. Yes, can I help you?
I'm gonna say, ma'am, can I stay at your house for the night?
Who are you, strangers?
I'm a police investigator, and I can't find a way to get back to the town.
You show her your badge.
Yeah.
Make a charm, or actually a credit rating roll.
Okay, I have 30 in that, so. 69.
Okay. Oh, sir, I'm sure you can.
I can
call
pay
a police buddy. How about you, Phoebe? What do you do?
I say,
Can I be charming?
sure.
So what do you say to be charming?
I'm gonna have to sleep on a porch.
I say, well, I don't think he could call somebody if you would just be so kind as to let us stay for the night, please.
Go ahead and make a charm roll.
My charm is 42. And I got a
68.
She says,
No,
oh,
that's a 66.
tell you what, you can stay in the barn.
Okay, thank you, ma'am,
Yeah.
for your hospitality.
Yeah. So she kind of points you to where the barn is, and she's like, just be careful. I had a horse go missing a couple days ago. He was out in the field, and then he's gone. The fence wasn't knocked over. Someone might have stole him. But I did have a horse go missing, so...
Okay.
You guys aren't here to rob me, are you?
No.
Never.
Okay, so she lets you go and sleep in the barn.
I'll give her $1 to Colorado. I can't say that word ever. The collateral.
Collateral?
Yes. I can't ever say that word.
Collateral.
Collateral.
Alright, she appreciates the money. In fact, she says, I'll even have breakfast for you in the morning.
Thank you.
So you go and spend the night in the barn. You hardly sleep because you're so worried about that thing.
What happened to Joe?
Well, he probably got eaten by the creature.
Poor Joe. He was a good guy.
But you're so worried about that creature just oozing across the meadows and the fields that you don't get much sleep. And then the rooster crows, and the old lady, you can smell eggs and bacon cooking from the house. And you go in and she feeds you, and sure enough, a couple hours later, maybe you're walking back towards town, the taxi drives up. Oh, here you are. I came to pick you up.
Okay, I'm gonna say, well, here's the $2 I promised you.
Oh, $2. Oh, boy.
That was a lot of money back then.
Yeah, it was. Where do you want to go? Back to town?
I'd like to be dropped off at the police department.
Oh, sure. And he drives you back to town. You see Sheriff, is it Whitlock? Or?
Yeah, Whitlock.
What do you guys want?
Or Whitford.
Whitford. What do you guys want?
I discovered some things at the house last night.
What did you discover?
Well, it turns out that Mr. Cornthwaite is dead.
Did you find his body?
No. And also, Joe Varelli,
I know Joe. What about Joe?
he was murdered.
And who murdered him? And he reaches for his gun.
A slimy monster ate them.
And the monster, his weakness is salt.
Don't tell him
He
that.
pulls out his gun and says, I think you're both lying. I think you murdered Joe. You better make a charm roll or a fast talk roll.
Wait, who's higher rank? in like the police department.
Well, you might be.
I could be like, stand down or you're fired.
Make a law roll.
Law. Where is the law? I have a 45.
And I'm going to give you a bonus dice, because that was a good idea. So a bonus dice is you will roll the dice, and then take your percentile, the one that has like the 10s on it, and you'll roll it again and take whichever one is lower. So roll both dice.
I got an 81.
So re-roll the 80.
30.
Okay, so you can use the 30. So 31.
33.
And what's your law score?
45.
So check the box.
Okay.
Although there is a... Actually, don't check the box, because there is a rule that if you use a bonus dice, then you're not supposed to get to check the box. But that helped you because you were able to get it. He says, oh, I got to phone this in. He says, why don't you just wait right there? And he gets on the phone and kind of asks for your badge number and says, well, it all checks out. I need to go up there and see what you told me. This is absolutely crazy.
I'm going to tell him, don't. You'll die.
Well, we got to do something.
Okay.
What's your plan?
Well, we could go up there. I recommend during the day, because at nighttime, it seemed that's when it came out. It didn't come out at all during the day, but at nighttime is when it started to ooze out.
Well, that's a murder scene. We got to get up there.
Okay, I have a few people I want to talk to first then.
Who do you want to talk to?
I'd like to tell Mr. Stan Artemis and also Mr. Walter Dodge.
So maybe you can go talk to the newspaper man, and
tell him that
you
his
can
friend
talk to
died.
the attorney. So we'll do. Maybe Phoebe goes and talks to Stan. Well, hello, little miss. What brings you back to the Gamwell Gazette?
Well, last night... Well, is it still night?
No, it's morning now.
Okay. Well, last night we discovered something very odd. And it was this in the house.
Cut to the chase.
And it was this oozy, slimy thing with tentacles and mouth. And its weakness is salt.
And it murdered Mr. Joe.
No, not Joe. Why didn't you say that first?
Yeah, I told you.
I don't care about Salt.
I told
care
you.
about Joe.
Yeah, he was sadly eaten, we assume, by it.
And he's very distraught. And in fact, he's crying. Oh, but then he thinks, oh no, I must tell this story. And he sits down and asks you for all the details. Maybe you help him write up a story. Did you take any pictures of this slime or any pictures?
You have a camera, but you didn't take any pictures.
I may have taken one like me screaming like, ah!
You took a selfie with your old style camera. So he's kind of getting the details from you to write up a story. What do you tell the Dodge brothers?
I'm going to tell him, unfortunately, Mr. Cornthwaite has died.
Did you find his body?
No, but I do have a note that he said he will have died by the time you find this note.
Oh dear. So a suicide then?
No, he was actually devoured by something.
What do you mean devoured?
Well, from his trip, he apparently disturbed the tomb or whatever he was looking for, and something came back and it ate him. It's a big slimy monster.
Well, how do we get rid of this thing?
Its weakness is salt. That's probably why he was trying to get a big load of salt.
Well, I still have the order. Let's push the order through. We'll have the salt here tomorrow.
Okay.
And he makes a phone call to a salt quarry or salt mine, and sure enough, the next day, in fact, you probably stay at the boarding house tonight. The next day, this big dump truck full of salt rolls into Gamwell, and you take it up to the mansion.
Yeah,
Are we with all of these people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you take it up to the mansion, and they kind of back it in, and you know the backyard. There's probably a cellar door in the backyard that leads down into the cellar. You go back, and sure enough, there's one of those kind of flat doors on the ground that opens out and leads down into the cellar. What do you do?
I'll say I guess we should probably load the salt in.
Well, you open the door, and we'll dump the salt in there.
Okay. I'll get behind the door and pull it open.
You pull, and it's pretty hard going at first, and then it opens up, and down in the cellar you see this green slime, and it starts to kind of churn and move around like it's going to come out of the opening.
And I'm like, see, look, I told you.
And they're all looking, oh my goodness, what do we do?
Let's just shovel salt on it.
Well, we could just dump it in there.
Okay, dump the salt in. Murder
So
this
they
beastie.
lift up the dump truck, and the salt just pours in this loud hissing and steam and and this greenish black smoke just pours out of there, and it's the foulest swamp water smell you've ever smelled. And by the time it's done, all that's left in there is the pile of salt and just this nasty water that just bubbles a little bit.
Could we find Joe and Mr. Cornthwaite down there?
So once you're pretty sure that it's destroyed, it hasn't moved for hours, you kind of walk down, and sure enough, you see Joe Varelli's body partially digested off in one corner. It's kind of eating the skin off a good part of his body. And,
is he alive?
No,
Oh.
he's dead. And then you see a skeleton in there that looks to be about the same size as Arthur Cornthwaite.
So
And there's also a few large bones that look like they might be from a horse.
The slime ate the horse? How'd it get all the way out there?
Just kind of slowly seeped across the meadow, so maybe it was coming after you guys last night, but didn't quite reach you.
Well, okay. I say, well, that solved our case.
All right, well, that is the end of the cracked and crooked Manse. So now we're gonna end up doing some post-game wrap-up. You get a few extra bonus points and roll to improve, but did you all have a good time?
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to play this again. Thanks for watching, everybody. Another Kids of Cthulhu. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.